Hello, welcome to Beach Bum Creations. My name's Tom, and on this channel we will show you how to take the items you found on the beach and turn them into lifelong memories using resin. So, if you like our videos, hit the like and subscribe to our channel. We go and show you how to clean the shells, how to make the wood tables, everything like that. So, hope you enjoy them. Thank you. Would you look at that? Look what Boogie found right there. Yesterday I looked all over for something like this to make the base of my coasters. I believe this is perfect size. We'll see when I get home. But this could be the base of project number 124, a coaster set. We'll see. Like that. And these Coke things will be on the end. Caps up. I'll silicone them on the end there, and then I'll just pour the resin in there along with some of these little shells to go in there. Also, I'll pour the shells in there and there. And this is kind of what it's going to look like. This is one here that's made with gold resin. The same little pieces of shells. And then you got the base. Here's the base, and there's the base. And these three stands, legs, or whatever you want to call them, that's what this is for. It makes these. I just chop it up in three pieces and then round it off. So there you have it. It's just a matter of mixing the resin now and pouring it and waiting for 8 hours and it's done. All right, welcome back. I've mixed up 150 grams of part A and 75 grams of part B. And I'm going to use this blue. It's called ultramarine blue. It's a type of dye. And normally I use a powder. I don't use this stuff, but I'm out of the powder, so I'm going to try it. I think I put about maybe 6 drops in there. We'll see how it looks with 6 drops. I used some red one time of this when I first got it, and it took half the bottle to do one project, so I didn't use it again. But you can see with 6 drops, you can barely tell there's any ink in there. So, yeah, that's not going to be very good. Try some more. Keep doing it till it gets darker. Bound to get darker eventually. I'll put some of this, I got some turquoise, it says turquoise glitter. I'm going to put that in here. See how that works. See, the color I'm trying to get is this color here to match this napkin holder. So, keep doing it until we try to get something close to that. And on this You gotta really mix this good. I can't overemphasize. It tells you, if you listen to all these people, it says mix it for 3 minutes, at least scrape the sides, scrape the bottoms. Because if you pour this and it's not mixed and there's like a part A there by itself, it'll never harden. It just is sticky all the time. So there's nothing you can do with it. You can try to dig it out and pour more, or if you don't mind wasting a bunch of resin, you can pour right over it and it'll harden up over it. But it's a lot of resin, and that's where the cost comes involved in this stuff, is the amount of resin you use. I'll tell you, that's not even close to dark enough. So we're gonna put some more in there. Yeah, I usually mix it for 3 minutes and then I let it sit for a while, cook a little bit, starts getting a little warm. Then I come back and mix it for about 3 more minutes, and then I let it sit for a while. I let it sit for 2 reasons. One is, the main reason is for the bubbles to rise. I have my heat gun right there so I can blast it. The problem, I use all this stuff that I find, or that, like these are from my nuts. This I just found on the beach. If you hit this with a heat gun, it'll melt this so fast, it's unreal. So you have all the resin in there and you go to heat it and it distorts it, and then now you don't have a round coaster anymore. So you have to keep that in mind when you're using that heat gun. It'll melt this stuff some of this plastic, it'll melt real fast. Other plastic, it doesn't bother at all. So let's see, it's starting to get a little darker now. I mean, it looks pretty dark, but you look at the stick and it's not too dark. And we're gonna go ahead and try it. And one thing for sure you always need when you're pouring your resin, I say it every time, is you always need a paper towel and some alcohol. You can see my fingers, it just got little bits on it. A lot of people wear gloves. I used to wear gloves, but I can't. I can't handle it with gloves, so I would rather just get it on my fingers and wipe it off. It's not very hard. And here's where I'm getting it, most of it is from this stick. I find these sticks on the beach too. I cleaned the beach. I found those bottle caps on the beach. I keep the beach clean. Okay, I can feel this starting to get warm now. So, I'm gonna go ahead and start pouring. I stirred it up a little bit before I came in here and started mixing the color in it. And this I got to remember to take it out of. I have it in a paper cup because it's a hard side, so I can scrape the sides real good. But if you pour it like this, it'll just fall right out of that paper cup. So, okay. So the first one I'm going to pour, I'm going to pour it in here. I'm going to pour it in this one here, because this one is going to, well, they're all going to take two coats. See, I don't know if this is going to work because I never did it before. Half the things I do are first time. I just do whatever it takes to get it done. Okay, well, that looks pretty good. I need to get a stick. Sorry about that. I'm back. I need to get this stick here so I can mix up these shells that I'm going to put in here. Okay, a little more in there. Put too many in here, it's real hard to cut through shells. So you gotta remember, you gotta cut this when you're done. It looks like it's about half full. Go ahead and start pouring on these now. Wow, looks like I'm gonna have just the right amount. Okay, that was pretty dang good. See all the little sides there? Okay. See now, I really don't need to scrape this off the sides. That's where you run into a problem. If it's stuck on the sides and you scrape it off, anyway, so I don't do it normally. Okay, so I'm just going to sprinkle some of these on here. Now half of these are they're gonna drop down to the bottom. If the ones that get inside, they'll sink to the bottom. The other ones will stay up top. But what's gonna happen here after it dries, I'm gonna pour some clear resin over it. So that'll seal all these shells. It'll be smooth. Same within here. I'll pour clear resin just to get, if I need more, I'll pour clear. I'm not sure right now how this looks in there. We'll see. Looks pretty good, actually. Mix up them rocks in there. Okay, they're not rocks, they're shells. So anyway, that'll do it. Tomorrow, it'll be good, and then I'll be able to take these out. If I don't need to add any clear to them, I'll take them out and I'll cut them 3 sections, and then I'll have legs I'll put in here. I'll file down one part of it so it goes into this little groove, and then I'll fill it up with the blue resin a little bit. I'll put some shells in it and do the same thing, and then put some clear over the top of it. I showed before, I'll show it again in case you missed it. It will go into the side like that. That way they're good and sturdy. They're not gonna, those will never break off. You might be able to cut them off, but they won't break off. I like to make things that last, and these will last for practically forever. So anyway, there you go. Tomorrow we'll be back with the finishing of this. Well, folks, welcome back. It's the next morning, and we're going to see if this worked. This is first time I kind of use this, so I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to cut this. I hot glued it around the sides here. So I'm going to get that off somehow. As easy as it looks. Nope. Plus I put silicone on the inside. I didn't want this to leak. You know, resin gets hot, it gets real thin. It'll run anywhere. Well, we got one side off. Let's see if we can get the other side off. I can see I'm going to have to use the different holes every time. This is about the third time I've used this hose. So, let's see what we got inside here. Okay. You got it. Looks good. All right. Same color. It's good. Wow, looks like it's kind of got water inside of it. All right, that's good. So now, let's see how these worked. These are going to be no good here. Usually if I cut this, there's like a little tab right here. If I cut it on each side, then I take this, peel it back. See, it kind of starts an opening. Once you get it started, it'll usually pop right off. I need to put my glasses on. That's the problem. I can't see what the hell I'm doing. This is a bit early. It's in the morning before I go to the beach. So I just couldn't wait to get this thing over here open to see what it looked like. Okay. Let's use these a little more. Sometimes this isn't so easy. It's gonna come off now, I can feel it. Get it. All right. There you go. It's a blue coaster. And I'll put a little mat in here to absorb the moisture. So yeah, that'll be the stand for it. Look good. Okay. All you gotta do is take all the rest of the plastic off those, cut this in thirds, sand the edges off, and then taper them so that they go in this slot here. Because they got to fit down in this slot. Pour some blue and then some clear, and then it's done. Okay, that's it. All right, I'm back after taking all the plastic off of these, the rest of them. So now I have them, and I've taken this, and if you look at it, I've cut the bottom because I want the bottom to fit. Let me see if I can show you. I don't know how to show you this. Anyway, it fits down in there so that when I pour the resin in that lip, it'll be inside the resin. So all I gotta do is cut. I just gotta cut 3 of these. I'm gonna have to make this a little different here, huh? Okay, well, all I gotta do is cut 3 of them so I can have 3 around 3 sides. And so they have to be about this tall right here. So just 3 of them. I'll be back when I get them cut, sanded, and ready to resin in. All right, I'm back, getting ready to pour the base. I've mixed up in this little cup here 54 grams of part A and 27 grams of part B. And I put some of this, what does it say? Ultra. I won't focus in on that. Ultramarine and some turquoise glitter. So hopefully it'll match. That's the problem. This one looks darker, and you can see it on the stick. So hope it's not too dark. At any rate, all I have to do on this pour is to pour in the bottom to where it's just over the center section here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour this right over these legs. And what that does is where I cut it and sanded it and all that, it'll fill in all those scratches without me having to sand it. I mean, I sanded it already, but don't have to polish it, sand it and polish it. I mean, you can get it looking just like glass if you want to spend the time, but I don't. Okay, so hopefully I have enough. I hope. Yeah, I will. Looks like I will. Okay, that's good. It's about where I wanted it. Just barely over that. And then I'll just, well, let me get this out of the way. What I'll do is go ahead and just smear this on here. When it hardens up, when it dries, it smooths out, so you don't have to worry about if it's streaking it or anything. Like sometimes on big projects, I'll just take a paintbrush and paint it on. But for this little thing, I didn't feel like ruining a paintbrush. Because the paintbrush is pretty much one use only. You're putting it in resin. You can't see it, but there is a really deep scratch right there. I guess where the hacksaw cut it. But this will cover it up, and when it gets dry, you won't even see it. because it'll dry clear right over it. So let me put a little bit more around here. It's over the edge some places, and some places it's not. So I have a little bit more in here, and we'll put it in there. Kind of looks purple. I know it's not. Okay, there's not enough here. There's not enough here, I don't think, to make a heart. But I'm gonna try it. Yeah, usually I'll put out some things here. I put 3 in this case, just in case I had extra resin. Because you don't know how much it's going to take, and I don't like to waste it, so I'm just going to make these hearts, and I'll do something with them. I don't know what, but something. Better than throwing the resin away. Yeah, if I had some smaller things, it'd be great. I don't have any small things to make. I should get some. I know people that have them, but I don't have any. Okay, this will be enough for this. And sometimes if you put a little drop, like this drop right here, that's how I can tell when it's done, is that drop will be hard. If the drop's not hard, it's not done. Okay, I'm gonna go get some little stones. Be right back. Okay, I'm going to put this heart right over here. I'm going to put some rocks there so it flows down into the other thing, make it more level. And this one, I just want to put these rocks around the edges. I don't want them in the center, and you'll see why later. Just like before, half of these are going to sink down to the bottom. As a matter of fact, with these, I'm going to go ahead and probably push them down with a stick. That way, because there's not much room left for the clear. If you look, it's very thin for the clear. So I want to make sure it's smooth. So I'll put some clear over it, and that'll make this surface here smooth. We've got lots of bubbles in here. And this is going to go down just a little bit. What happens is it'll be concave sort of. It'll be lower in the middle and higher on the edges. Kind of makes a lip. It kind of shrinks down in the center. Okay, well, that's good there. Let's put some in this little heart here. Yeah, if you see the other one I did, I don't know what I did with it now. This here's the one that I did when I was pouring the clear. So now I have a green one and a clear one, so I can do something with them. I don't know what, but something. So that'll end this, and on this one I'm going to come back in a few hours and go ahead and pour the clear on top. Right now I'm just going to get some of these bubbles out of it. A lot of the times it doesn't really matter on the bubbles with me because I put these little shells in, so it don't really matter. But on this, where you're going to see the edge, the bubbles get kind of around the edge, so that's why I'm doing it here. And now that I've kind of heated up the resin a little bit, any bubbles that are down into the resin, they'll come up easier now because the resin's warmer and they'll float to the top. So in about 10 minutes I'll come back and do it again. You can see they're starting to form a little bit right now. So in a little while I'll come back and hit it with the heat gun again, and that'll take care of all those bubbles. Okay, we're back. I just mixed up, what was it, 26 grams of part A and 13 of part B. And this is not dry yet. The top is dry, I think. You can touch this, I poured this at the same time. If you look at this, you can see it's not dry. I mean, it's dry on the outside, but not dry on the inside, which is what I wanted. Because I'm going to try something different. I'm going to put this on there and put it right here. It's going to be kind of hard because you can't have any air bubbles underneath it. I have sprayed this about 3 or 4 coats with clear polyurethane. As I tried this once before and it just soaked into the paper and the paper tore apart and became a terrible mess. So we'll see how this one works this time. Any rate, it's clear, it's just clear resin this time. I'm just gonna pour a little bit. I'm gonna do the same thing. Pour a little bit. Oh, almost forgot to take it out of this cup. Be bad news if I didn't, it'd fall. I'm just gonna pour a little bit right over the stanchions here. Give them a little coat of the clear. Boy, there's a lot of bubbles in this. Okay, now I'm going to put a little bit here. And see if I can get that on there without any air underneath it. Gotta get these real good right now. Oh, while you weren't looking, I didn't like this last time. It was too much in here, so I took some of the blue out and stuck it in that heart there. Because there was just too much in here. There was going to be no room or very little room for the clear. So we'll see now if we can get it on there without it getting air underneath it. Well, it's kind of just floating on top there. That's good. All right. Wow, that was easier than I thought. Okay, now we'll pour the rest of the clear right on top of it. You gotta watch this stuff at this point because it's stuff like this will float. See how it's floating? Shells do the same thing, they'll float. Might have to get some more clear made. Yeah, I don't think I put enough in here. I think it'll spread out. I think it'll spread out just fine. And there's a little blue mist right here. Nobody will ever notice it. You might, because I just told you. Okay, that's pretty centered. Let's see, how should I do this? These aren't on there straight. I just eyeballed it. These two are closer together than this one, so it's kind of like these two sides are longer than this side. So I'm going to turn this until it's, stuff is hardening up already. Oh. I don't know if I got enough in here. Good. Oh, there's my dog Boogie. He wants to come in. Yeah, it's hot outside. I think that'll be just enough. Scrape this out. A little low spot right here. Okay. It's smooth. This is down below it. It's not floating, it's stuck. It's pretty good. Sometimes things actually do come together. And every now and then rotate this because this is inside my kitchen, and it's about the most level thing I have in the house. But if you rotate it, if it wasn't level, then any off will make it go. Okay, so didn't need this thing at all. Just enough. Well, need to get some of these bubbles out of here. There's a bunch of them. You can probably see them popping. A whole bunch right there. You got to be careful not to burn this resin too. If you heat it too much, you'll burn it. Okay, so that looks pretty good. We'll let this sit for a while. Come back and we'll go ahead and blast it again with the heat gun and get any remaining bubbles. Give them some time to all rise. You can see all these little ones are coming up right there. So anyway, okay, it looks like it's going to work with the little logo. I just printed them out on my computer, and it seems to be working better. Okay, that's all for now. Well, I know you don't know it, but about 10 or 15 minutes have passed since I poured this, and I'm looking, and this is coming up. It's floating. So, let me get a toothpick and push it down. Yeah, if you look at it from the side here, you can see where it comes up and breaks the surface, which is no good. Oh, it looks like I might need a little bit more resin, actually. Yeah, I remember the last time too, I was thinking I should glue this down instead of, so that way it wouldn't float on me. Well, it's just a little teeny bit floating up. You can see it barely breaking the surface. All right, well, I came in here to blow this, see if there's any bubbles, and there's bubbles, all right. Yeah, that side doesn't appear to have enough resin. I keep turning it and it doesn't seem to do anything. So, all right. Oh, I can't blow it, I forgot. Our electricity just went out. We're on those rolling brownouts because we're hydroelectric down here and we've been in drought. So for the last couple weeks, about 3 days a week, we don't have electricity for an hour and a half. Oh well, I can pop the bubbles with this toothpick. The ones around these edges is no important because I'm gonna sand it anyway. Okay, it's all underneath the resin again. See how long it lasts this time. All right, here we are. It's the next morning, very early. We're gonna find out how this thing turned out. I don't know how this plastic is gonna come off of here. Oh, it feels like it might come off pretty easily. Yeah, whenever you can get a little bit of opening where you can get the screwdriver in there, usually it comes off pretty easily then. off as easy as I thought it would. Yeah, it's going to destroy the plastic. Yep. This plastic was not the best. Oh well. It'll all come off sooner or later. Usually they'll just pop off when they get to this point. And this plastic it was old. I found it on the beach, so if it was new plastic, it probably wouldn't be doing this. So, anyway, here it comes. It'll be here in a moment. There you go. Well, let's see what it looks like. All the edges here have to be sanded down. And see, it's not shiny on this. See how it's dull? It's because the plastic is dull. When plastic is dull, the finish of the resin will be dull. So at any rate, that looks good. So we'll sand this down and put it all together. I like it. Okay, this is item number 124. It's a coaster set. It's blue. And as you can see here, it's got some green glitter in it and some seashells. So number 124, a coaster set, 6 coasters.